In this video, I will help you with your final exam preparation. I will discuss the Gauteng 2024 Prelim exam, Paper 2, Question 10. In the diagram, K, H and G are points on the circle and FG is a tangent to the circle with midpoint E. A half circle with midpoint F is sketched. Points D and E lies on the half circle. CD and CE are tangents to the half circle at D and E respectively. CD is parallel to HE. Number 1. Give a reason why DC is equal to EC. Now, if you look at the sketch, then remember they told us here in the words that the CD and CE, they are tangents. And we have a theorem that says tangents from the same point are equal. And therefore, you can see that they join or they have a common point C and they are drawn from that point. Therefore, they will be equal. And they are equal up to the point of contact. Number 2, prove that triangle DCE is similar to triangle HEK. And that one I will do on the next slide. Number 2, prove that triangle DCE is similar to triangle HEK. Now we can say that angle C is equal to angle E2. And the reason is they are alternate angles and they are equal since DC is parallel to EH. And we can also say that angle D is equal to angle E1. Why can we say that? Remember in the previous slide we decided that this side is equal to that side. So those two angles, we will say opposite angles. Angles opposite equal sides. That's the reason. Furthermore, we can say, now have a look at this. In that triangle, we can say that angle D plus angle E1 plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees, angles of a triangle. But remember, in the previous statement, we said that D is equal to E1. So therefore, we can substitute E1 with another D. And we have D plus D is 2D. And you can let the C walk across and it becomes 180 minus C. Interior angles of a triangle. Then we also have that H, this one, is equal to K1. Now why can we say that? Can you see that EK is equal to EH because, I'm sorry about the dog. Why are they equal? Because those two lines are radii. And again, it means they are equal, so we have the situation angles opposite equal sides. Then in that little tiny triangle, we can also say that K1 plus H plus E2 is equal to 180 degrees. But we said that H is equal to K1. So in K1's place, we can substitute H, and then we end with H plus H is 2H. And then I let the E2 walk across. But we know that angle C is equal to E2 there from the start. Therefore, we can say that angle D is equal to angle H, which then makes triangle CDE similar to triangle EHK, and the reason angle, angle, angle. Number 3, prove that DG is equal to GE. Now, if GE is 90 degrees. And the reason why we can say that is FG is tangent to that circle and the tangent is perpendicular to the radius. Therefore, this implies that DG is equal to GE, and the reason line from midpoint perpendicular to chord, what does it do? It bisects the chord. Number 4. Show that 2HE squared is equal to DC times HK. Now, from our similarity from the previous slide, we can say that it works like this. The ratio CD over EH is equal to the ratio DE over HK is equal to the ratio CE over EK. So this is why we can say DC over HE is equal to DE over HK. Then we can cross multiply this and we end with DC times HK is equal to DE times HE. And then what happened here? If you have a look at DE, there's DE. Can you remember we said that these two are equal? DG is equal to GE. So what I did was DE is the same as, let me write it here, DG plus GE, but they are equal. So you can write it as GE plus GE, which is 2GE. Then remember GE is equal to HE. Why? We can say that since there's GE, that one, and there's HE, that one. Can you see they are the radii of this circle with midpoint E? And then now in the place of GE we can substitute with HE, and then that's what they want. Thank you for watching my videos. If you look at the videos in the right hand corner, you will see that I added the playlists for the grade 11 Euclidean geometry as well as the playlist for the grade 12 Euclidean geometry. Now on the grade 11 Euclidean geometry, there's a very important section of the work which I call the geometry cheat sheet. And I strongly suggest you have a look at that, and that will really help you in the exam. Speaking of the exam, good luck with your exams. This is Miss Pythagoras signing off. Till next time.